All right, I think we are live here. I am getting some errors with getting some audio errors and I'm getting some video errors. So hopefully you guys can see what's happening, or at least hear me. I'm going to turn on the video here in just a second. Hopefully this is working. All right, so I have Lightroom open today. I actually have some images. Hey, what is up, man? Welcome to the live stream. Dang, that sounds so official. So yeah, I'm just gonna be kind of playing around in Lightroom in a little bit, and I think in about 30 minutes at noon, I'm going to announce the winner of the 8.5K giveaway. Got my special little homemade hand sanitizer here with me, which is kind of cool. Trying to stay healthy. So yeah, if you're newer to the channel, then you might not know, for my 10K giveaway. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to the live stream. If you're newer, what I'm trying to do, instead of giving away something at 10,000 and making a bunch of people wait, I decided to lead up to 10K and give away 10 Polaroid cameras on the way to 10K. So at 8,000, Sweet Lou from Sweet Lou Photography, he was the winner of the 8K giveaway, and now we're doing the 8.5K giveaway. And every 500 subscribers, I'm giving away a certain amount of Polaroid cameras. So I've given away one. I haven't shipped it out to Lou yet in New York. That'll be any hints of who it is, because I already know who this person is. For this particular giveaway, I decided to do one of the people that's been one of the longest subscribers on my channel and one of the most active. So I had to do a lot of math and looking at some people that have been subscribers since the beginning, but have also still been active on the channel, still been in touch and stuff like that. So I will be announcing, yes, so there will be international shipping. Everything, all of my giveaways and everything are worldwide giveaways, just not only in the US, where I'm from. Hello, welcome to the live stream, everybody that's new. I'm going to start doing some Lightroom editing in a minute here, just kind of explaining the giveaway a little bit. We're going to be doing the giveaway at about 12 o'clock, so about 27 minutes. I was just giving some time to jump in and have some people jump in for the announcement. But if you guys want to join our Discord server, I have all of the information for all the rules to the challenges that we do and all the rules to the giveaway, and how you are entered to win in the giveaway. So what I'm actually going to do is I will get our link to our Discord server, and I'll drop it here in the chat so you guys can join our Discord server. You can see all the rules for the giveaway and all that fun stuff. So it's going to take me just a minute here to get this link to the server. Yes, I do have presets. I have a lot of LUTs. I have a couple Lightroom presets, mostly for Lightroom Mobile. I'm working on a lot more, so during all this downtime, with all this quarantine stuff going on, have been working on... Oh, this is the one for today's giveaway. It's going to be going out today. So this is just a Polaroid one step, It takes, if you guys can see it there, it takes the 600 film, instant Polaroid, and pretty neat camera. I just tested it out. All of these cameras so far work as far as I know. So I've been testing these out as I've been finding them. And again, this will be Polaroid number 2. It's a neat little one. This is the second or third Polaroid that I actually got. I think it's pretty cool. You can focus here on the front. Let's see, trying to show this off in the light a little bit. So there's like a little lens, if you guys can see that slides out in front for close-up focusing. And it actually does work too. It's a little plastic lens, but it works. And then there's options for kind of like exposure compensation right here. There's a little light meter, and this little switch here moves a piece of, I guess, transparent plastic over the light meter. So I find these all over the place. I spend a lot of time on the weekends doing Goodwill shopping. I've actually got another camera that I bought with that Polaroid. This is a Nikon L35. It's a nice little point and shoot camera. I've been playing with this guy a lot since this whole quarantine, lockdown, pandemic. So this guy's pretty fun. I've never really been a huge fan of point and shoot cameras until I found this. This guy is an absolute blast. I'm sure Cloudy Knight can attest to some of these point and shoot cameras. This guy, just the quality of the Nikon lens in this L35 is just absolutely awesome. It actually has some nice coated Nikon glass there. You can kind of tell from, you can see here, that kind of bluish, purplish reflection. There's a nice coating on this lens. It helps reduce some of the glare and just gives you great quality. This is an awesome quality. This is a, I believe, 35 millimeter lens. But this thing is awesome. When I bought it, I bought this for about, I think it's $5 or $6 at a local Goodwill store. And somebody just didn't want it anymore. But again, a 35 millimeter 2.8 lens. So this is really neat for landscapes and stuff like that. This particular camera, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is from 1982. Let's see if you guys can see through the viewfinder. It's kind of cool. Let's see if this works. So there's the viewfinder, and you guys are seeing what I see when I look through the viewfinder. And on the bottom of this guy, let's see if I can line this up just right. You can see there's actually a little focus, little thing at the bottom that shows you where your focus is. And I'm going to turn the camera on real quick. So we'll turn it on. And to get focus, you have to press the shutter button about halfway down, and it makes a little noise. I don't know if you guys can hear that, and if you can see the little meter on the bottom, it kind of moves to focus on my face, which is pretty cool. And on the bottom, you can see there's some little people. I actually have to get up really close because I can hardly see. I'm looking through my computer monitor to try and see, but there's different focus points. So you can see one person, you can see multiple people, but it's just showing you. And then on the far side, you can see there are mountains, which are kind of cool. What's up, Lou? You can see, hey, Rudy, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Lou probably knows quite a bit about this guy too. Nikon L35, just happened to get lucky and score this guy for like $5. The only thing wrong with it was that it was missing the battery door, not the battery door to the battery compartment. So I fixed that with some gaffer's tape, which is amazing. If you guys don't have gaffer's tape, I always recommend that you buy at least a roll and always keep it in your camera bag. How many are there? How many Polaroids do I have, or how many cameras in general? Because I have more cameras than I can count. But let's see. Oh, right now I am physically looking at 10 of my Polaroid cameras. A couple of them, 2 or 3 are my personal ones. A couple of them are for the giveaway. I'm still working on collecting more of the cameras for the giveaway. I find them all the time at local thrift shops and Goodwill stores. But just like I found this guy, this little point and shoot camera, and the quality is amazing. So I've been, right now you can see it actually, this is kind of neat. It has a little window on the back, so I can actually see what film. Let's see if you guys can see this. So I have some Fuji 400 in this right now, but it's nice. I don't have to tape or have that little slot to put a little part of, and for those of you that shoot film know, here's one of them. You gotta chop off a little piece of your box so that you remember what film you're shooting, and you put it usually in a little slot in the back. What's nice about this little point and shoot is I can actually see through the window. And again, not too bad for, early 1980s technology. And the little parallax autofocus system is right here on top. It has these 2 little windows that I don't know how it works, to be completely honest, but focus is usually pretty dead on. From what I've seen, it does a pretty great job, but I'm just about to finish my first roll. I am on shot number 32. Let's see if you guys can see that. But yeah, I'm on shot number 32 out of a 36 exposure roll. I just ordered some developing stuff for a developing kit. But yeah, this camera was already, it ran $100 to $200 back in the 80s and the 90s. And right now you're lucky if you can get it for $100 on like eBay right now. So I just got super lucky. And again, the only thing that was wrong with this, and I think the reason why someone gave it away to Goodwill, is because again, the battery door was missing. So I just, for the battery connection, I put a dime right there. So I put a little coin right there, and I gaffer's taped over it. So this little solution, you can kind of see the dent from the coin, but that is what's making the connection between the 2 batteries, and then just gaffer's tape on top of it. But other than that, other than some, minor little, the black paint being scratched a little bit, this guy's in pretty good condition. It has the front little lens cap here, which is really cool because the lens cap actually goes over, everything's backwards on here, I'm kind of finding my way. Lens cap actually goes over this thing. And I just realized I'm going to full screen my video until we get into Lightroom here. So there we go. So here's the full screen, so you guys can probably see this a little bit better versus that tiny video. But again, comes with the lens cap, and then this cool part of the lens cap right here covers that little plate of glass right there. And I have it kind of jerry-rigged this. I tied it onto the camera strap so I don't lose this piece. But yeah, that nice cover covers up. Again, everything's backwards, so I'm struggling here a little bit. Covers up my autofocus system, my little viewfinder right there, but this lens is awesome. And I have a little right in there an ISO switch, so I actually turn that to set my film speed, which is pretty neat. But yeah, this lens cap is pretty cool. I'm lucky that somebody tied this to a ribbon and it actually came with the camera, so I got lucky there. And I've actually found a battery cap. There's like one guy, there's one guy in England that's selling one, or Great Britain, or whatever you want to call that place. one guy is selling it for like 40 bucks, and that's more than I bought the camera for, so I'm going to hard pass on that. And I think I'm going to 3D print one. So I have some CAD and some design skills and the software to do that. And I used to dabble in 3D printing in the past, so I'm actually going to 3D print that battery compartment cover or little latch, and I'll just go in there and I'll sand it down. I'll print it a little bit larger than I need to, and then just kind of sand it down so I can get it to fit snug on there. And then I'll probably super glue a little piece of metal on there to keep the battery contacts. So that is about it for this little point and shoot guy. But during this quarantine time, I've actually my quarantine isn't working like everybody else's. In Colorado, we were actually given the order to not leave our houses unless you, essentially, unless you have to go to the grocery store, go food shopping, anything like that, or it's an emergency. Well, again, working in the military, they really don't care. I've been considered an essential person or essential personnel. So when even people on our base that I work for are allowed to go home, I still have to work kind of like every other day. So I'm on a schedule or a rotation for working. I'm trying to find right now the little email that we were sent. Took a screenshot of it, but it's really not that important. Oh, here it is. We basically got this, I'm sure a lot of people have gotten these public safety alerts. And as of last Thursday, March 26th, we're not supposed to be leaving the house. But again, every other day, I still have to go to work. I still have stuff I need to do. So at least it's been keeping me busy, which is kind of nice. It's been, keeping my brain occupied, keeping me from losing my mind. I also go for runs just about every other day, which helps a lot as well. And then again, having this little point and shoot, playing around with it for the first time. And then I just, like I said earlier, ordered some developing stuff. So I have a little tank coming on its way. I got some glass jars on their way. And from Cinestill, I ordered one of their C41 processing kits. So I am excited, extremely excited to, get working on that. So glad to have you guys here. We will announce who the winner is in about 12 minutes. As you guys know, with the 8,000 subscriber giveaway, Lou won that one, which is awesome. And I will be sending that out to him as soon as I send this other one out. I'm going to try and send these out kind of in bulk. So that's less trips to the post office now and less of me worrying about, contaminating myself or contaminating other people. So let's see what else. Yeah, I'm going to hop into Lightroom here in just a second. I actually have some photos from down when I was at Photo Plus quite a while ago, back in October. I was down at Photo Plus hanging out with Sweet Lou Photography. Good old Lou. And actually, these photos might have been before that, or Celtic Parade. Actually ran into the parade by accident, and just happened to have, I always have my camera on me, especially in New York City, but happened to run into this pretty cool parade thing. So let's take a look in Lightroom. We'll burn a couple minutes. Yep, Photo Plus, good old Photo Plus. I really hope this whole thing gets solved before Photo Plus 2020 because I plan on going. I don't care how much it costs to get there. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to see, I know Lou got to meet one of my coworkers, Dave, that also works in my Space Force unit with me, one of my civilians. Pretty cool dude. Hopefully, I know for sure I'll be going as long as it's not canceled, and maybe one of my other coworkers might be going with me. So we shall see. Again, I hope Photo Plus this year is not canceled. It's absolutely awesome. And the hardest part about Photo Plus is trying to figure out which camera I want to bring with me. I think this year, last year I brought my GH5 and my Nikon Z6. I think this year I'll probably bring my Nikon Z6 along with probably this this Nikon L35 just to shoot some film down there just for funsies. But yeah, we for sure have to plan something this time. I shot kind of a generic, I guess you could say Photo Plus vlog-ish kind of thing while I was down there. And it took me a while to actually get the video out. So this coming up year, I definitely want to have a plan so I can, go down there, shoot 2 or 3 cool New York episodes, and just kind of see what happens. So what I'm going to do now is open up the good old Lightrooms, and hopefully this works. I'm going to transition here over to Lightroom if I don't break everything, which I'm pretty good at. Transition over to Lightroom. Hopefully you guys can see Lightroom, and I also have my chat going up on the right hand side. But yeah, that was absolutely awesome being able to do the that Game Boy whatever the heck that was camera. I mean, little 8-bit, I don't even know if it was 8-bit, black and white pixel cam. That thing was awesome. And yeah, I still have those in my drawer. Dave, so in our office, if you're actually in a uniform in the military, in my unit, then you're kind of considered like a mission essential personnel and still have to go into work all the time. As a civilian, Dave doesn't have to do that, so I haven't been able to give him his photos yet, but I'm working on that. So here we go. If you guys can see this, there we go. I'm going to try and make this my face a little bit smaller because I think this guy's face is a little more important. He's cooler than I am. So I'll just keep my little stream face. Let's see if that works. This OBS freeware live stream software is awesome. So I'm going to edit for about 7 minutes. Then we're going to announce the live stream winner today at noon my time. Yeah, in English version, so we're not, two of the pastiest white guys in New York trying to read Japanese. And I'm not going to speak for you, but I know maybe one word in Japanese, so we were just kind of guessing. But it was fun. It was definitely fun. That was part of the experience. So yeah, back in April, I went down. Actually, I was living in Syracuse at the time, a couple hours away from New York City. So I was able to spend a lot more time in the city than I do now. Now I go back once every, 6 months to a year. I was planning on going back this spring, but obviously, you guys know what happened and what is still happening. And it's really difficult because I know some of these issues. Sorry, I'm cleaning off a lot of dust off my computer screen right now. We have, I know how to, yeah. So in America, we are pretty selfish, and everybody thinks that, and I think I'm pretty free to speak for all Americans. Again, we're selfish and we're free, and we think we can do whatever we want. So we like to not listen to rules. So that essentially in the long run is going to make a lot more people sick and is going to keep spreading this whole pandemic thing out longer than it really needs to be. I heard, I was talking to Noe from, Noe the neon photographer. I know Lou knows Noe, and I'm pretty sure Cloudy knows Noe as well. I was talking to him, and the way he described it, in South Korea, they pretty much had everyone quarantine as soon as possible, and within a couple weeks to a month, essentially everything made its way out of the pandemic. Essentially, kind of passed over South Korea for the most part, and minimal people got sick. So in the U.S., we're not necessarily like that. We kind of just do what we want. We don't, and again, I'm speaking for a lot of people here, but we don't really listen to authority, which is dumb on our part. And in turn, we get a lot of people sick, which is frustrating that, people just can't stay the fuck inside and listen. But again, sorry for the politics on that. I will pass that on. But the point is, I'm trying to get to New York as soon as possible to go shoot again, meet up with Lou, meet up with some other people down there, and obviously go down, stock up on some film, because they actually have some camera stores down there, which we have like 2 here in Colorado. But yeah, Japan would be absolutely awesome to go to. That's on my list in the next, 2-ish years. This summer, I had actually wanted to go to Europe and do a little trip there. That got canceled. And then the plan was to potentially go to either maybe South Korea, maybe Japan, kind of over there, do some photography, visit like Seoul, Tokyo, stuff like that. Some pretty awesome places. But I'm not sure, how that's going to work. So I'm going to get back to some of these. Yep, Brooklyn Film Camera. I see that you always go to one of those film shops in all your videos, so that's one of the places I want to definitely go to. But yeah, so I shot these photos. I believe these were on my GH5. Yes, so these were on my Panasonic GH5, which I had adapted. I had adapted a Nikon 50mm 1.4 with a little photo deox adapter, and that's why you can see this creamy smooth, shallow depth of field, and awesomeness on a micro 4/3 camera. So I decided, it'd be really freaking cool if I did a portrait series during this whole thing. So what I'm going to do, I'll buzz through these images real quick. I won't do any editing. I'll show you guys kind of what I shot. We'll announce the winner. And then for those of you that want to stick around and hang out for a little bit, if you don't have anything to do, I'll do some photo editing for maybe an hour or two. I don't really have anything planned today. I have no life. I do have to work tomorrow, which is going to be fun. I might do a little vlog about it or something like that. I did a vlog about my first, full day in quarantine, which doesn't really count for me if I'm having to work essentially every couple days. And then I get a couple days off and then get called into work again for, an emergency. Stuff like that. Everybody needs photos, even during the quarantine, even the military. So Brooklyn Film Camera does ship. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. If they have a website, if they do have a website, can you drop it in the chat here? So I know some little mom and pop shops are not SEO optimized that well, so even if you search for it, sometimes you struggle to find it. So if YouTube chat lets you drop that link in there, if you can, buying that kit from them, but I struggle sometimes to pay $12 a roll. But yeah, Rudy, same here. I'm kind of struggling with my trips. I'm hoping I can travel by October, but the way people are being dumb in the US about this whole thing and not listening and not being team players kind of sucks for everybody. So the chat won't work. Damn. Okay. Can you? Well, maybe. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. Sorry, I just broke everything. Typical. It is Brooklyn Film Camera, and then I'm guessing .com, probably. I know links don't work, but yeah, everybody, I'm super big on supporting small business. I mean, being on YouTube is kind of a small business. But yeah, that is definitely frustrating that this whole thing, it hurts small businesses, but there's not much. It sucks, but there's not much you can do other than try and support these businesses by by helping them out the best you can if they have a website. So yeah, all of our film people, if you want to, what is up, old camera guy? The old camera guy, because there is one. Love your videos. I try and catch them. I usually get caught watching them at work when I'm really bored. You're one of the first channels I go to. I think you may have done an L35, a Nikon L35 video, if I'm not mistaken. If not, I watched about 24 videos on that guy to make this camera work and kind of learn a little bit about it, so I didn't screw up a roll of film before I even got going. But it looks like it is noon my time, Mountain Time. Let's talk about this camera giveaway. I'm going to close down Lightroom. We'll come back and we'll edit photos if you guys want to hang out for a little bit, editing some photos later. And if you guys are into film photography or just, photography in general, anybody in here that doesn't know the old camera guy, definitely give a click to his channel. He has some awesome videos. He uploads pretty darn regularly. Does some awesome stuff on his channel, so definitely give his channel a look, and definitely give a subscribe to his channel because it's awesome and he's always putting out cool content, whether it's new types of film that he's trying or stuff like that. So again, definitely check out his channel. So today, as most of you guys know, I think a couple people may have left the stream, and that's okay. We're going to be giving away, for celebrating the milestone. The lighting sucks on this webcam, and I apologize for the crappy quality of the webcam, and I'm sure the stream quality isn't that much better, but one of these days I'll end up figuring out how to hook up my GH5 to my MacBook without getting too complicated to hopefully make the video quality a little bit better. But so we're going to be giving away this guy today, little Polaroid 600 one step. Again, I have so many of these darn things. I'm looking at 10 of them right here, and I'm going to give away a handful of these, and I'm still collecting some for the giveaway. But today, we're giving away this one, and yes, it does work. Just tested it out a couple weeks ago, but I've been having it sit here on my desk for a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to make sure I get this name right because I already know who this winner is. And this winner actually has a YouTube channel as well. Now, I'm also going to give his YouTube channel a shout out as well. I just want to make sure I get it right and I don't screw this up. So give me just a second here. I will do this announcement, I promise. Where is his channel at? Might have been a little bit since he's done a video. Everybody's doing, I see a lot of people are doing these quarantine vlogs and stuff like that, which is awesome. It's just a lot of content to try and go through, and I'm trying to search for something. Where are you at, man? Alright, I'm going to try and search for him. My computer's just going super slow. There we go. Alright, I just found his channel, so I'm going to bring up his channel real quick. And you guys can see who won the channel, or excuse me, who won this particular giveaway. So, editing and doing random stuff. That's pretty much pretty much what my days consist of these days as well. So the winner of this particular giveaway is Ryan Schneider, and I'm pretty sure I got his last name right. It's Ryan Schneider, and he has his own channel called Ryan Schneider Vlogs. He used to live in Japan. I think now he is, I think he's in Mexico or Texas. I know he came back to the United States for a little bit. I have some catching up. I see one of his vlogs is from Texas. There's another Dallas, Texas, and got to go hang out with him when he's when I make it back to Texas again. But he is the winner. One of my longest subscribers, one of my most active subscribers. And if you want to just, see an awesome vlogger, and I believe he shoots on a GH5 as well. But he does some really cool stuff and has a lot of videos, almost 7,000, 6,500 subscribers. And this dude is an acrobat and a performer and does a whole bunch of circus related vlogs, which I think is absolutely awesome. So this dude's awesome. Subscribe to him. I don't think he's in the live stream today. He might be in a different time zone, but I will I'll let him know that he won offline here. But yeah, congrats to Ryan, one of my oldest, most active subscribers that has been around, and one of my first subscribers, actually. And I really wanted to shout out to one of my first subscribers that has always been, active on the channel, always been supporting me, and is also a YouTuber as well. So I hope that Ryan can get out there, can take this Polaroid with him on his the adventures that he does and his vlogs, and hopefully he can get some use out of this, throw some film in it, and document his journeys of where he goes. So I think Ryan is a very deserving subscriber to get that camera, and we will be doing another one of these giveaways very, very soon. Let me make sure this live stream is still chugging along here. I'll shut off Lightroom real quick. So yeah, Ryan is an awesome dude. Go subscribe to his channel just for fun because his vlogs are extremely entertaining. But yeah, let's see. The stream health is still doing good, I think. Still chugging along. I'm getting errors every so often, but I am going to keep doing photo editing for you guys that want to, just stick around and watch me edit some of these portraits from this portrait series I did of these Scottish bagpipe players, I guess. Bagpipers. I'm not sure if there's a plural for players of the bagpipe. But yeah, congrats, Ryan. I'm going to send him a message, figure out where exactly in the country he is at, and then I will box this guy up carefully, send it out pretty soon. I'm also going to send it out to, I have Lou's Polaroid right over here on my shelf. I think this is a cool little dude. I have two of these, so I figured I'd hold on to one of these guys just for funsies to stay on my shelf, my Polaroid shelf. And then I give one to Lou, who won the 8,000 subscriber giveaway. He can figure out maybe how to work this thing. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure out how to work this thing. I don't have the connections in the film industry, so he is probably the expert on figuring out how to either make it work properly or jerry-rig it to make it work. So we are going to ship those out very, very soon here. So if you guys are stuck inside, hopefully you have something fun to, vlog about and play with a little bit if you're stuck inside. Got to represent my old university, Syracuse. But yeah, so thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to get back into Lightroom. I'll keep the stream going for dedicated. Dedicated was the word I was looking for. I'm going to keep this stream going for a little bit because I'm just here to hang out. But yeah, we will be doing very soon. I'm thinking I'm already at about 8,600 subscribers, doing a fun little giveaway for 9,000. I'm pretty sure at 9,000, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to be giving away 2 cameras. So 2 Polaroids, which is going to be pretty fun. Giving those suckers away. I'm not sure how we're going to do that yet. We might do what I'm thinking. Maybe I should just make the executive decision now. What I'm thinking we do is do another live stream giveaway. Maybe we'll get some photo challenges going. And maybe I'll film like 4 or 5 photo challenge videos, drop one like in the middle of the week for the next couple weeks. And by the time we hit 9,000, we'll see who has, participated in the most film challenges. Not film challenges. Photo challenges. You can shoot film if you want to, absolutely, if you can get it developed in time within the week deadline. But I actually have the next challenge kind of in my head right now. I'm going to film it this afternoon and probably release it very early this week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. So you guys can get cracking on that and have, 7 to 10 days to work on it. You shouldn't need that long. It's going to be a very simple challenge that you can do inside and just something to get super creative with. And then, based on podcast style chat. Yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely love to do a podcast style chat. If I could get like you and Lou and get the camera guy in here, and I would absolutely love to do photographer chats. I've been kind of toying with that idea since I lived in New York, and back when I was going to school with a lot of other undergraduate photographers and photographers who were trying to work on getting their master's degree, and a lot of journalistic street style photographers. And I never made it happen because I was just so flippin' busy with school. A little frustrating, but it happens. School was my priority at the time. So yeah, that's absolutely something I want to do. I have a name already planned out for it, for a series. But yeah, Lou, let's absolutely do one. Maybe let's do 2. We'll throw one up on your channel. We'll throw one up on my channel and maximize efforts. But yeah, so yeah, this is there. I don't think there's any better time to get my little podcast started. I'm not sure how to do it yet. I was going to do it in person, but I guess now figure out a way to do it over the phone or over Skype or something like that, and then just, flip-flop audio files back and forth. But yeah, my podcast that I wanted to do kind of has a theme, a comedic theme around it. But yeah, that'll definitely be a new series. As long as we can get Lou to throw up on there, that'd be perfect. And I realize all of my comments replying to this live chat are going to be extremely awkward if people don't have the live chat, if they're playing this video back, if they don't have that up. But oh well, that's okay. My feelings aren't hurt. But yeah. Okay, so I'll talk about these photos a little bit that I took. Hopefully, is this... Yeah, okay, this is working. Just making sure. Sometimes things don't work, and then I go for, an hour looking like an idiot. Well, it doesn't work, but here are some of my images. This guy was out selling Scottish flags, which was pretty freaking cool. I don't know if you guys can see it. My flag is actually right there. I keep it hanging up in my room. Pretty cool. I am a good percentage Scottish. So if I haven't mentioned it before, I am Scottish, Russian, Irish, and Polish. So I like all of the alcohol, and I hold it fairly well. But these guys were awesome. These guys were, dressed up and the whole, get out with everything. They had their kilts, their bagpipes, some pretty awesome kind of beret hats, which were pretty neat. And I just went in and you know, asked them if they didn't mind me photographing them. I captured, I think, some really neat. Oh, God. Okay. Summary of my channel. Yeah. All right. And if you guys are just watching the video, I'm just cracking up at some of the shenanigans going on in the live chat. So make sure you guys are watching the live chat replay if you're watching this video, because if you're not, you're really missing out. That's more entertaining than my video. So, yeah, I thought just kind of took like a street photography approach to photographing these guys that were getting warmed up to essentially they shut down an entire street about a block off of Times Square and just had these guys, march in giant, I think, circle around town. But it was really awesome, and I'll bring up one of the videos possibly so you can kind of see what was happening. But it was just, hundreds of people playing bagpipes in, Manhattan, and the bagpipes were echoing back and forth between these giant skyscrapers. And if I have ever had a spiritual moment in my life, that was it. Again, with my heritage being Scottish, it was just amazing to see and absolutely, amazing to listen to. So yeah, these are just some of the photographs I took. I decided I wanted to do a portrait series. And how do I best do a portrait series and really show the environment these guys are in kind of a new way, or a new way to me. Excuse me again. So you could see these guys were kind of hanging out towards the bottom of the frame here in this shot, and I thought it was really neat, this giant V. I apologize if my live stream clogs up a little bit or slows down. I'm getting some warnings that my bandwidth is getting sucked up, and my MacBook's a little bit old. So I love the way these buildings looked. They kind of create this perspective V, where the tops of the buildings eventually come down and meet towards the center of the image, and everything, all these leading lines here meet towards the center. So I was thinking, and you can kind of see this in my previews down here, I'll show you in the next image, I wanted to take that, and how do I make the face the focal point? So you can see here, kind of got some Rembrandt lighting going on, but I tried to do that where I put the face kind of in like the lower third, which was, that's something almost nobody ever does. Why would you put a face in the lower third? But you have all of these leading lines, here going towards the face. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then with these, what are these things called? Construction, scaffolding. You have more lines, and everything is like almost like sun rays coming out of his head, but everything is pointing in towards his head. So I did a handful of these portraits, and all of them are a little bit different. Actually, the lighting was amazing because it wasn't direct light, and I wish I would have taken a little bit more B-roll, made a vlog out of this, just this little portrait series, because the lighting, as you can see, this was probably 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe 11, maybe noon, pretty early, midday, and the light was coming in from over the tops of these buildings. The sun rises in the east, so it was coming in from over here, bouncing off these windows on the west side of the street and then bouncing down at kind of like a 90 degree angle. So it allowed me to create some really cool looking Rembrandt light here. And then as you can see, my depth of field is super shallow because I was shooting at 1.4-ish, somewhere between 1.4 and 2 on a 50 mil on my GH5. Again, an actual Nikon 50 millimeter. So it was the equivalent on my Micro Four Thirds GH5 of a 100 mil 1.4 portrait lens, which I think is just an absolutely freaking awesome combo. So I thought these portraits turned out pretty neat. You can see that's a raw one that I haven't edited. I shot a little bit underexposed just because these buildings were so bright. I shot at least a stop under. My histogram, yeah, at least a stop under. If I were shooting film, I'd probably want, this big guy in my histogram right there in the middle. Doom. Oh Lord, Lou is playing Doom. Stream in the side monitor, and it's a weird experience. I imagine it would be. It's an interesting experience having you playing Doom while also replying to the chat while I'm live streaming. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. So yeah, I had a blast with this portrait series. Here is another bagpiper as soon as it loads. I don't like how this one turned out as much. She was a little bit shorter, so it was harder for me to get that same perspective. But I'll go through here. I'll look at some of my favorites. I love the side eye that this guy gave me. I wanted to see. I did some split lighting here, but I really wanted to see this, kind of medallion buckle thing that he had on the side of his beret. Look at that, nice and sharp. Nice sharp eyeballs. It's kind of taking a minute to load, but you can see as it gets towards the back, you can see the fall off really just falls off. And this is some nice gorgeous Nikon 1.4 bokeh or bokeh going on back here. And again, all these leading lines. Nice little American flag over here. I wish there was a little Scottish flag over here to balance the image out. But I do like how that one turned out. This one, I said, hey, I'm going to try and play with the light, and I'm going to try and play with the composition a little bit more. And I definitely do think I'm going to do, a whole separate video on this portrait series. Sorry, I got to check my phone real quick. Realized I had about 10 unread messages, so apparently I'm popular today. So yeah, I just thought the light was neat, and I was playing around with, I learn best by experimentation, so I was playing around with, maybe I don't have my subject centered, maybe I throw my person off into the lower right hand third, which again is something that is like never done, and it takes him, out of the center, but he's definitely a very clear, focus or subject of the image. And I just kind of played around. I really love the way the Rembrandt light turned out on his face. I tried doing, a close-up and eye level, dead center. I think it turned out pretty neat. And then to match up with the rest of the portrait series, just in case, those were all experiments, in case none of those worked, I tried the same thing. And I love how sharp his eyes are, and then on the same plane of the eyes is this nice little thing right there. Hopefully my live stream didn't die. Again, I apologize if it did. I'm getting a whole bunch of errors. I should probably check Twitter or something to make sure it didn't die, but we'll keep cruising for now. I think it's still working. Everything says it is. Here I had him, look off to the side. Did a lot of portraits of this guy. Good Lord. This will be the last one we look at. Lucky you missed it. Where were you at? The winner for this challenge was Ryan Schneider. I believe he is down in Texas. for being one of the longest and most active subscribers on this channel. In the next giveaway we're going to be doing, we will be giving away 2 cameras. I just told you who the winner was. Again, winner was Ryan Schneider. He happened to be one of my most active, longest subscribers. He's been one of my first subscribers. So in the next giveaway, we'll be giving away 2 cameras, and I think we're going to be doing some photo contests or photo challenges. So, yep, that'll definitely be what we'll do for the 9,000 giveaway, and that should be coming up here in just a couple weeks. Probably in mid-April-ish, we'll do that live stream. Don't worry. If you follow me here, my community on YouTube, my community tab, or on Twitter is where I announce all of the giveaways. They usually happen on the weekend, usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming back and checking out who the winner was. Again, I've given away 2 so far. I have 8 more to give away still. So yeah. And then if you guys want to join the Discord server, there's a link in my community channel. I can't link right here inside, the live chat. It won't let me give a direct link. But what was I saying? I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, we have 8 more cameras to give away, so there's still plenty of chances to win those. Like I was saying, the next giveaway will probably be, photo challenge participation. So participating in the photo challenges, dropping those photos in our Discord server, which again, the link I will post right after this video in the YouTube community tab, in my channel community tab. So here was a couple more portraits I did. I thought this guy, I love beards, and I love this guy's beard. He's got a big old ZZ Top looking beard. And I wanted to figure out, I really like the way, again, I did very hard, kind of split lighting. You can see just a touch of light, a tiny little bit is on his cheek over there. But he had, trying to compose, he had a longer face, he had his beret on and the big beard. He wasn't, necessarily fitting the style. So I haven't edited this one yet. So I'm going to hit Command-Shift, copy over all the settings from this image. And I think one of these images, yeah, he was definitely dressed quite sharply. I like this image probably the best. I'm going to paste over these settings from that image, paste over the edit settings. I'll show you those over here in just a second. Turned down the highlights quite a bit, bumped up the shadows. This image is actually looking a little bit hot, so I'm going to turn down the exposure a touch. That looks a little bit better. I might go in, I might add some contrast later on. Let's get rid of this bar. But I think, just as a portfolio book, I might end up, putting this series in here. Another bagpipe player right here. She was pretty cool. Now I had her facing the other way down the street, and all of these people in the back, really, they're a real distraction. I love the light on her face, though, because I had taken these probably 30, 45 minutes, and the light had changed. And you can see over here on the ground, you can see where I had them standing in these reflections where the sun was actually not direct sunlight, but again, bouncing off these windows right there. And you can see that over up here on the right-hand side up here, the sun was, blasting on these buildings, but I was getting, it was like a giant bounce card, and it was awesome because I was just getting this nice soft light on their face. And you can see here, again, nice soft light. The only problem was it was just so crowded and people weren't moving. It was really difficult to get a portrait. And these people still had jobs to do. They still had to practice. So this one looks a little bit better. I actually like the way that turned out. I like the balance between, you can see these guys on the left-hand side over here, over in his kilt and his boots, and then it's kind of balanced out with this white line and these darker individuals over there in their dark blue, dark black kind of suits. So now this one, this guy was also in, if I'm not mistaken, he was in the Irish or the Scottish Army. Also a military guy. So it's kind of cool to have that rapport or that connection with somebody else. And he just had a very stoic face with, I think, very piercing eyes. So I had him look directly into the camera. And again, it was neat. I had him square up with me with his shoulders nice and square. Put him not quite in the lower third, but just off center a little bit, because your center line's right here. But I wanted this photo to pull your eyes away from the center with all of these kind of leading lines going towards the center of his face. And again, I did a couple different iterations of all of these images. I just thought it was kind of a neat portrait series to do. That one's probably a stop darker than the other one. This one, I had him, one thing that I like doing again is breaking that axis between the lens and the eyes and having them look off to the side. And I just got that little touch of that Rembrandt light. And again, he sits a little bit lower in the frame on the third, right here in the image. And I thought that was I really like this one. So the hardest part of this whole series is deciding which one of these images do I really want to publish. Or, if I took 10 images of each person, what's the best image? Or what image best represents, what these guys, looked like, what their attitude was, what their personality was. So, again, with most of these, this one was kind of a distraction. You have that NYPD cruiser right there, kind of frustrating. But I took, 3, 4, 5 images. I actually like this one. It's a little bit different than the rest. The composition is different, but this one focuses a lot on him. He was also in the military, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. But I think there's a neat balance here between these trees over here, getting hit by the light. Fairly soft light on his face. And, oh man, I'm going to have to try out Doom. I haven't played it yet. I've played some of the old, PC Windows 98 versions of Doom. Haven't played, I'm pretty sure there's that new one that just came out. I am culturally irrelevant and way behind the times. You can see a couple more of these shots. And this guy had his big old flag right there, which was pretty cool. Big old Scottish flag, big old blue and white. And again, just very soft light on the face, very soft fall off from that giant building that was, a giant free bounce card. So again, nice and soft, but that nice and sharp on his face with that nice soft fall off, which I love the way the 50mm 1.4 Nikon lens looks. There's one I had him. He has a very, I'm trying to word this properly, just a very soft, he came off as a very soft, caring individual, just kind of like deep in thought. And I thought this, image kind of displayed or portrayed his personality pretty darn well. With, the light wasn't as harsh, it wasn't as hard. It's a little softer, kind of fell off a little more on his cheeks, and he just has very, kind of soft, caring eyes. And that's why I wanted to put the eyes a little bit in shadow. I had him tilt his head a little bit forward so there wasn't, hard, sharp, glaring light in his eyeballs. And then here's another photo of him. But yeah, Cloudy, that was actually kind of the point. I wanted to make these, um, I guess, timeless is the word. Um, I wanted them to feel a little bit older, kind of like they were older film. That's why I tried to blur out. I used extremely shallow depth of field. I was shooting these somewhere between 1.4 and 2. Um, I'm going to edit this one a little bit while we're sitting here. But yeah, I wanted to give these, again, this timeless feel of, taking away all the elements in the photo that would give you any sort of context or clue as to, I shot these photos in 2019 and, not like 79 or something like that, or 69, 59, 49, whenever. But I didn't like having the cars in the background that gave away clues of, the time period. But I think especially when you take away the color and you shoot black and white, it gives you the opportunity to essentially put these, at any point in time, in the last 100 years since photography has been invented, and you forget about when the photo was taken or where the photo was taken, and you focus on, who the photo was taken of, and who the subject is. This one happens to be a little bit soft. I just missed focus on the eyes. Yeah, you can see here the focus is on the ear, so I definitely messed that one up. As I've been going through these, I've been trying to make sure, there we go, that one looks nice and sharp. I believe this one, they've already edited. I think I did edit. Yeah, I did edit this one because the eyes were nice and sharp. And I had him, again, look down and slightly off here to my right, his left, just to kind of give that very, soft, deep in thought kind of look. But yeah, exactly. I wanted to, grab onto a little bit of emotion. This was, everybody was very happy and excited. So it was kind of a challenge to, stop these people and have them, take a deep breath and be like, all right, give me like a stoic face, or, kind of pose them a little bit. But I think this image was interesting. This kind of reminds me of a shot that, there's no clues or context of what year it was taken. These buildings look a little bit older. I'm going to crop this a little bit, I think. All right, there, even it up. Right down. Again, his eyes are basically on this lower third right here. And then you guys over here are in these, business suits or blazers, casual suits that people have been wearing, for the last, century and a half. So this photo could have easily been taken in 1950, 1960, 1970, 1980, any time in the last basically 50 years, since we've had decent quality imaging devices, mechanics. But I thought, I really liked that photo. So that's my portrait series I did of the Scottish, it was like a Scottish Day Parade. It was back in, I believe, early April, maybe late April. Actually, I think it was early April. There's probably a date on these, but I don't really feel like going and looking up when I had photographed these. Not the point. But yeah, so I think I'm going to get some of these printed out. I've been trying, some of the email addresses haven't worked, but I've been trying to send these images out to some of these individuals. And I think some of them made it through. I don't think I've heard back from anybody, so I'm going to try again. But I thought they turned out pretty neat. I'm a big fan of always, experiment when you can. When it comes to composition, when it comes to, exposure, any of that good stuff. Play around with it, because I really like the way this this composition turned out, and I like the way these images turned out. And if I didn't experiment, try something new, and take a little bit of a risk. I never would have gotten these images. And again, that was kind of my reward for experimenting. Was getting some images that I think actually turned out pretty darn cool. I'm gonna crop this one a little bit. Actually fix the aspect ratio, straighten it out a touch. Put him down there. I do want to see his patch. There we go. Get some of these highlights back in my image. And I really wanted these to be nice and contrasty, where the whites were very bright but not clipped. It's okay that these are clipped up here. That's fine. But yeah, absolutely. The leading lines was something I was really relying on, especially when you play with different or maybe unorthodox compositions. I really had to rely on, the tops of the buildings all coming to a focal point, or a perspective. Everything had to kind of work in my favor. I don't think this composition necessarily would have worked out if I had, say, the background, a background that was just a brick wall, or a completely, white background, or completely black background. In each of these images, the composition plays quite a big part, or excuse me, like these leading lines play quite a big part in the composition. Even, again, one of my favorite ones was playing with this lower right-hand third. And it's balance, it's light, it's leading lines, it's everything. It's kind of this negative space right here, contrasting, dark negative space with, I guess it would be positive space with the light, but you have this strong contrast here, kind of the yin and the yang right here. No contrast, strong contrast, playing with opposites. And again, that's just something that everybody, in this chat as a photographer, you don't really think about. It's just kind of one of those things that's kind of going on in the back of your brain as you're shooting. Not necessarily playing by the rules, but those rules have set, a solid foundation in your head of kind of what's going to look good. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to. You could have an awesome image, or excuse me, an awesomely composed image, or a properly composed image, according to the books, that looks good or should look good, but may fall short, when it comes to actually being an image that stands alone and looks good. So, composition is everything, but the rules sometimes, rules don't always work. Excuse me, rules are always meant to be broken when you know what the rules are and why you need to be breaking the rules, obviously. But I thought this image turned out pretty neat. I have to do a little bit of playing around with, I need to bring up the highlights on his face. I might do some localized editing right here, because I don't want to blow out the highlights on his face, and I don't want really anything to be clipping on his face there. But you can see this eye is nice and in focus, and even back here, this side of his face just kind of falls off with the focus. And I thought that was kind of neat. His little feather up here in his hat is in focus. Little medallion here, kind of part of it is in focus, and then as you get back here, it just kind of falls off, and then there's some little strings back there that fell off, and everything back here is just these nice little bokeh spots, which look kind of neat. And again, you can see my settings all here. There's the original. So I shot it, fairly well exposed. Hey, what's up, Shane? Welcome. You are not too late. You did make it. I did announce already about 45 minutes ago that Ryan Schneider, pretty cool vlogger, won this week's Polaroid camera. He was one of my first subscribers, and this giveaway was for kind of one of the longest and still active, subscribers. So yeah, I'm not sure where you're at, but in Colorado, the weather is super nice. So after this live stream, I'm going to go for a little bit of a run, make sure I, keep my social distance away from everybody and take my dog for a little bit of a run, make sure I get outside because yeah, it's important to get outside, get some fresh air. But yeah, thanks, Lou. Really appreciate it. I need to figure out a way to do something with these portraits. Like they're sitting on my hard drive, and that's one of the hardest things I think as a photographer. Like, all right, so I edited these, I processed them, and they're backed up, and that's it. What do I do with these photos? What's the final output? So I think I might end up printing these off and definitely sending a copy. I'll have to get the addresses. I have the emails of all the individuals I photographed. Now I have to figure out, if I can get their addresses and actually shoot them. I think these work perfect in an 8:10 crop aspect ratio. But yeah, a little zine would be kind of cool. I've been reading up on those recently, when I've been bored at work. Again, there's the after, there's the before, pretty close exposure wise. I did a little kind of localized dodging and burning. Let's see. Darkened up, the top of the sky. I keep pointing at my monitor. I apologize instead of using my mouse, but darkened up the top of the sky here just a touch because it is a bit of a gradient where it went from blue to kind of a hazy white down there. Darkened up, the highlights on this building, so it was enough to be, balanced. There's some highlights here too. Enough to show some balance, but also not too much to, distract from his face. And you can see, again, he's standing in one of those, absolutely gorgeous pools of light. And if you've ever been to New York City or a really huge, really big city with huge buildings and skyscrapers, and I know Lou knows this, if you catch them at just the right moment where the sun is rising over the tops of, in this case, it was the right-hand side. The sun was coming up over the right-hand side, bouncing off the left-hand side, and bouncing back towards the right-hand side. And it was just creating, I'll zoom in right here. It's out of focus, but it was creating these random pools of light just from being a giant bounce card and a giant reflector. And just, oh man, that gorgeous light. Like I am I know there's such things as audiophiles for people that love audio and cinephiles for people that love cinema. I don't know if there's a photophile for people that love light. But I absolutely love light. And when everything kind of comes to work together in one, trifecta of some stuff. But yeah, Lou knows what I'm talking about. And if you've ever been to, especially New York City, where you get that sun bouncing off, you can see when I was out there. I actually just got lucky. I was on my way, I think, to another shoot that I had, pre-coordinated with. But I was on my way to a shoot, and I just happened to run across this because I, heard bagpipes and always run towards the sound of bagpipes. That is my motto. If I ever had a catchphrase or life advice, words of wisdom, run towards the sound of bagpipes because cool photos will follow. Did the same thing in Europe. There's people all over the place. When I was in London, playing bagpipes on the street, always got awesome images. So ran towards those and just happened, things just worked out where I happened to be in the right place at the right time. And that's all. I think street photography is 90% luck and 10%, ability to be able to turn your camera on. I think it really comes down. You do need the skill, you do need that preparation, but it's being prepared when luck happens to deal you some good cards. But yeah, 10 o'clock in the morning on a sunny day is a great time for a photo shoot. You just, what's up, Jared? Welcome to the stream. actually probably about to cut out in about 10-15 minutes. I've kind of gone through these photos. I've edited most of them already, excuse me, earlier. But yeah, thank you for the idea of making a magazine. I think that's a good idea. Maybe just something that's I don't know, 10 pages. That's enough to get my 8 portraits and a couple more supporting photos. I think black and white would definitely be the way to go. Like a photo like this, it's crisp. That very nice, soft, shallow depth of field, I think, looks good. You get the context of the bagpipes and where they're at, and maybe another image or two of them, kind of like context photos. I do like this one. Just kind of happened to be just a moment of him looking down the street that I thought kind of worked. And then another photo or two of them. I could do like 4 context photos. Like when you open it up, the first 2 pages are just kind of what's going on. And then I have 6, 8, 10 portraits in the middle. And then maybe the last 2 pages are some other photos I took of the parade. I think I had a GoPro as well. I think I snagged a couple super wide angle images with that. This image, as you can tell, that's not a 50 on a micro 4/3. This was actually my 14 millimeter prime, so a 14 2.8 on a micro 4/3, which turned it into a 28 2.8, which absolutely great. That Nikon 14 2.8, absolutely one of my favorite lenses. It's at least in my top 3. And 85 is also up there as well. And I'm also starting to like a 35 as well, but pretty darn sharp. But you can see I did take this at 2.8, so there is a little bit of fall off back here in the background, but my foreground is nice and sharp right here. And I think this would work as a nice either 8x10, 5x7-ish kind of image. And I think that would work in the book as well, or zine, whatever final format I decided to put these in. But yeah, I don't know what photo this is. Yeah, that was a weird composition. I don't know what I was thinking there. Kind of strange. I think I have a couple other photos that I didn't have. This was before I bought my Z6. And this wasn't the trip to New York where Nikon let me borrow the Z7. Yeah, I'll have to put in another, photo or two just for context. We'll see. I got more of the preparation for the parade. When it actually came to the parade, I had to bail out and I had to go. All right, Lou, I will catch you later. Thanks for joining me. And I will talk to you soon about the half dozen ideas we have for collaboration. So I'll talk to you later. So yeah, thank you guys for all the ideas and figuring out how the heck I'm going to put these images in some sort of usable medium that a handful of people can enjoy them, or if it's just a little coffee table book, zine, book, magazine, whatever, portfolio that I can lay out on a coffee table and people can just hopefully enjoy it as much as I do. I don't always enjoy my images, but sometimes I think they turn out pretty well. Again, I'm not here to blow smoke up my own ass, but I'm pretty happy with this photo experiment. So I think now might be actually a good time to cut out of this video. I do need to get started on the photo challenge video. It's going to be coming up pretty soon, figuring out, 9K is coming pretty darn quick. And I have a couple other tips and tricks videos, and I actually have, I'm not sure who all in here. I know everyone that has a YouTube channel, like Sweet Lou, the camera guy, and I think Cloudy is working on coming up with his own photography channel as well. But yeah, a lot of you guys also do video. So I came up with a handful of my favorite, B-roll editing hacks or tips, tricks, whatever. And a lot of tips that I use when it comes to like editing short films, shooting short films, stuff like that, which is very pertinent to, editing B-roll for a vlog. If you're going for that, produced kind of cinematic feel. So I have a video of Premiere tips and tricks and editing tips and tricks I'll be coming out with pretty soon. I have the tricks, obviously. I just need to actually film the video and render out one of my short films as an example that I'll be using. So I think I'm going to work on that this afternoon, go for a run, enjoy the outdoors, and hope everybody here is staying safe, staying healthy, and we'll all come out on the other side of all these, shenanigans very soon, and hopefully the sooner the better, and we'll all stay healthy and this will pass over as quickly as possible. So again, stay safe out there. Everybody stay as healthy as possible. Maintain your distance, wash your damn hands, stay inside if you can. And then Shane has a channel too. That is awesome. I'll have to check out your channel. I'm pretty sure I've checked it out before. I do a lot of YouTube binging. But yeah, check out Shane's channel, see what he's got over there. Everybody does the YouTube. So I will bid you all adieu. I appreciate everyone coming out here. Thank you so much. Again, congrats to Ryan who won the camera. I will let him know soon. What else? Yeah, that is about it for this video. Again, thank you guys so much for sticking with me for the last couple hours, and we will do this again very soon. Do some sort of live editing, maybe at the end of the week, maybe this weekend, something like that. I'm going to try and do these as much as possible. If you guys are sitting around bored, I'm just trying to balance, the YouTube channel and then my full-time job where I'm still having to go into work and, do the military stuff. So a video on that as well coming pretty soon that you guys might find interesting. A little bit of kind of just a backstory on me, who I am, kind of where I came from, stuff like that. So that is all for this video. I appreciate every single person that's on this channel. If you did like this video, here's my obligatory thing where I have to say, smash the like button, massage the like button, poke it gently, whatever you want to do if you don't mind hitting the like button. And definitely make sure you guys, if there's anything you didn't say in the chat that you want to, drop me a comment, ask me a question, anything like that. I will drop the link to, Lou had brought up the Brooklyn film shop. I'll drop that below in the comments. I'll also put that in the community section as well. So yeah, glad to have all you guys here. I am going to probably go for a little bit of a run outside. It's like 60 outside, even though we're still kind of in winter, which is crazy. Actually, it might be spring now. I've lost complete track of days and time and everything. So yeah, thank you guys for coming out. You are all awesome. I am going to kill the live stream now, but you are awesome. Stay healthy. And until next time, get out and go shoot.